who were defectors in this election from other parties. Only 14 of them at this moment are in the lead.
So that's less than 33%.
If this is the way it stays, the strike rate of the defectors is substantially lower than the strike rate of the regular organic BJP candidate.
And you're quite right, Rahul. A minister in one of the BJP state government said, मैंने आपको कहा था ना, ये दल बदलू को लाते हैं, it cost them. They were hoping for this. I'll tell you one thing. There are people in the BJP rejoicing at this verdict. This is what they wanted. Because now you've got, like it or not, a prime minister who's slightly diminished, whatever the numbers are. Therefore, Mr. Modi, they still trust, but they would prefer a Mr. Modi who's more accommodative, more consensual. That's the reality. Let's be honest. These numbers will give the opposition a voice. Mr. Modi will still be prime minister, but at the same time, the opposition will have to...
It's a very different parliament.
Yeah, the BJP will have to also find ways to, accommodate chief ministers, to accommodate some of their major ministers. So it might just be the ideal verdict that you need in a strange way. The market will realize soon that maybe this is the best way to run India.
The markets are getting hammered at this moment.
That's because the market went up with Pradeep Gupta to 400.
The story of this election is coming from rural India, where the NDA is at 191. That's down 34 from the last Lok Sabha election. So the BJP has 149 such seats. The India Alliance's biggest gains are coming from rural seats, 140, out of which the Congress has 53, the Samajwadi Party has 28, the Trinamool has 18. So the biggest gains coming from rural India. If you look at urban India is still in thrall of the NDA largely. NDA at 36 leads, just 3 down from the last time. The India Alliance at 20 leads, 5 up from the last time. Only 4 of those, only 4 urban pockets are Congress seats, 6 are Trinamool seats. The NDA is holding on in urban India, losing ground in rural India. Dinesh Gundu Rao joins us, senior Congress leader from Karnataka. Mr. Gundu Rao, I'll show you where the Congress's tally stays at this moment. If we look at the breakup of the Congress tally, the India Alliance is up 101. The Congress at 94, 6 short of a double century. But you'd be delighted, given what the exit polls were saying, you'd be delighted at how the numbers stack up at this moment.
Yeah, Rahul. I mean, the exit poll was something which we could not believe. And when we heard those numbers, we were surprised and shocked. But, we've been seeing this throughout the election that we've been not just fighting the Bharatiya Janata Party, but we were fighting the establishment also. We were fighting the institutions. We had a media which was partisan, and we had an election commission which was compromised. So it was a big battle. And I think looking at the numbers that are coming up now, let's wait for the final figures. But I feel that this is something that is good that has happened to our country, because the narrative that had been built up in the last 10 years, this divisive politics that was taking place in this country, and the appropriation of institutions that was happening blatantly, I think for that the people have answered. And I was just hearing what you were saying, and I must say that the rural India has realized what is going wrong with India than the urban India. The less educated, the less rich, or the less knowledgeable people, whom we may say are less knowledgeable in terms of education, they have, I think, given a clear message to the country that what is good for India, it is not India versus Bharat. It is India is Bharat, and Bharat is India. Don't divide it, and don't create these false barriers and false walls, and try to create so much of hatred amongst each other. So I think the message is good. Let's hope for the final numbers, and once the final numbers are out, maybe it could be that NDA may not be able to form a government, and the India Alliance may be in a position to form a government. But whatever it may be, I think India's democracy is thriving. A strong message by the people.
Let me pull that out. Dinesh Gundu Rao,
this kind of politics
you fancy yourself as an election strategist as well. So explain this. At this moment, the BJP at 241, TDP at 16, JDU at 14, Congress at 94, SP at 33, Trinamool at 30, DMK at 21. Sarkar kaise banaoge, sir?
Thank you. No, I am just saying let the final numbers come out, and then we can take a final call on what will be the final, or what will be the true picture of government formation. Because in politics, we got to wait till the end. But even if we cannot form a government, I think there's going to be a very strong opposition. And this ramrodding of policies and not being bothered of what the opposition feels or what the people feel, and appropriating all institutions and misusing it. We saw the kind of misuse that has happened. You've seen it, we've seen it. How opposition parties have been targeted, how opposition voices have been targeted, people who raise their voices against the government from the non-governmental sectors, civil society, they've been harassed, they've been troubled, and they've been put in jail.
Preeti has a question. We've got two more guests, Adil Singh Boparai and...
Adil Singh Boparai and Jaivir Shergill joining us. Jaivir, you know, there was so much that we spoke of through this election, the silent vote. Modi ka settled vote hai. But it does seem, Jaivir Shergill, the silent vote has spoken. We'll come down to the numbers of Punjab later.
Preeti, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on your show. One or two opening remarks. In Hindi, there is a saying, Jo jeeta wahi Sikandar. The writing on the wall is clear. The Sikandar of 2024 is Bharatiya Janata Party in NDA. Yesterday, Mr. Rahul Gandhi was listening to the song of Sidhu Moosewala 295. But I can tell you with certainty, after 2 p.m., he will listen to
You're standing on 295 right now.
After he sees on your TV channel.
The NDA is now exactly 295.
One second. Let me complete. Now, at least we are 295. Mr. Rahul Gandhi will switch from Sidhu Moosewala to Pankaj Udas after 2 o'clock when he will see PM is swearing in for the third time as the Prime Minister of country. Three facts cannot be shaken or changed. 1. NDA is forming the government. 2. Prime Minister is coming for the third time. 3. Congress will remain sitting in the opposition benches. The tragedy is, if Congress is happy celebrating the jump from 50 to 90 seats, then God bless them, and we need such kind of opposition. Today, the grievance against the Bharatiya Janata Party seems to be, yes, you are coming first, but instead of 99%, why are you not getting 90%? BJP
no, but you haven't
is
got
celebration
no, 1
ready.
minute.
BJP is government formation ready, and the goal will beat in the BJP office.
Jaivir Shergill, you know, sometimes, you know, those who switch from one party to the other are often the most, have the greatest animosity against their old party. But the truth of the matter is, when you told the world 400 par, when the exit poll said what they were, you know, is there a bit of humility? You're relying on the likes of Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar to take you over 272 at the moment. So is there any humility, any lesson, or is it going to be, you haven't got 90, you have ending up, you know, you haven't got a 90% in this election. Some humility might be helpful, Jaivir?
Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, I'm a trained lawyer and a spokesperson who speaks on facts and not on personal animosities. I don't have a personal animosity against the Congress. I have an animosity about Congress's pro-China, pro-Naxalism, pro this wealth distribution, pro this extreme left ideology. Yes,
Jaivir,
I have
as I bring in Adil as well,
present-day ideology. Number
Jaivir,
one.
as I bring in Adil as well, for a moment reflect, because you've also been very vocal on the BJP's campaign in Punjab. You've been very vocal about it. Now, as I look at least where the trends suggest, the BJP is nowhere where Punjab is concerned.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Jaivir, that's for you, and we'll bring in Adil.
Yes. Okay, Preeti, I'm not going to mince words and call spade a spade. The Punjab results as of now at 12:30 are not up to BJP's expectations or up to BJP's mark. BJP hoped to penetrate the rural and the urban belt at a much higher percentage than it did with the Akali Dal. Number 3, and I want to say I bow down my head to the electorate and utmost humility and humbleness. 3 seats, Khadur Sahib, Faridkot and Simranjeet Singh Mann winning shows that the winds are not blowing in the right direction in Punjab. These 3 candidates winning shows that there's a larger problem which is somewhere we are not able to gauge.
No, so
These
let's
3
spend a
gentlemen
moment
have
on that.
openly called for a separate state of Punjab.
Adil has been waiting
but
for
let's
half an
look
hour.
at this. This is a very big story. You know, you've got an extremist Khalistani who's lodged in jail. This is very problematic. Amrit Pal Singh, currently in jail in Assam, 1,80,000 votes. As an independent candidate, he's leading over Kulbir Zira of the Congress and Laljit Bhullar of the Aam Aadmi Party. This is very problematic. He's a dangerous guy, this Amrit Pal Singh. If you look also at Sangrur...
I think Simranjeet Singh Mann is back.
Yeah, you know, these are extremist elements. No, fortunately at this moment, Gurmeet Singh here is ahead. But that was close as well. It's quite a close fight. At this moment, he's winning. But, getting this guy in Khadur Sahib into parliament is bad enough.
Rahul, I'll just
Adil
ask,
Singh Boparai.
I'll ask Adil Singh Boparai, though, the question which is, the fact, Adil Singh, there is something right in what is being also said by Javeer there. The BJP is still well ahead of you. They are 2-1 ahead of you in terms of their individual seats. The Congress leading at about 90, the BJP well ahead in over 240 seats. So the BJP is party number one. They will form the government. You may be a strong opposition, but they will form the government now.
60 seconds, Mr. Sardesai. Firstly, this is an election which is going to go down to the last wire. So therefore, the BJP should not count their chickens before they hatch. Point number one. Point number two, we were fighting against all odds. We were fighting an establishment. We were fighting against institutionalized BJP control. We were fighting against an election commission, or at least urging them to take action, which was in comatose. We had our accounts frozen on the eve of the elections. We had our chief ministers being arrested on the eve of the elections. The BJP, despite their monetary power, despite their bureaucratic power, despite their media power, we've been able to take the narrative away from their polarizing tactics to the Constitution of India. I think that is the key takeaway.
No, but surely numbers matter in politics. I agree on the narrative. What about the numbers? You need, if you had 120, you would have a little bit more talking points.
Certainly they do. But the story is not out. The story is not complete. The story is not complete. Don't
you actually believe you can reach 120? You actually believe you can reach 120?
We do sincerely believe that by about 3 p.m. the picture will be much clearer. We do believe.
I can do the maths right away. You don't need to wait that long. I can do the maths right now. There are 13 seats where the margin is less than 1,000. These are evenly distributed between the NDA and the India Alliance. So it's an equal distribution here. If we go to seats where the margin is less than 5,000 between the winner and the runner-up, at this moment there are 56 such seats. Again, virtually equally split between the India and the NDA, 26. If I look at seats which are less than 10,000 at this moment, there are 125 such seats where the margin is less than 10,000, again equally distributed. So the chance of, just statistically, the chance of this distribution skewing in one favor, so it's not lopsided at the base. So from now, for this to swing in one way, that would really be, Rahul Verma, quite difficult. So anybody, this is an important moment. Let's spend some time. No matter which category of seats I look at, even if I look at seats where the margin is less than 10,000 votes, 125 such seats, they're almost equally divided. Yeah. Therefore, it's not going to go, if you're hoping for a miracle, that bhi end mein hamare hi chakke lagne ya wo wale out ho jayenge, nothing of the sort statistically is likely to happen.
Yeah, most likely the leads are going to go in this direction.
It can change a little.
Yeah,
it can change on the margins.
But now
the trend is set.
The trend is set.
Set.
I think what we can fairly say at this moment of time, that it would be very difficult for NDA to now cross 325, and BJP will struggle to get majority on its own. It is still possible that they can get majority on their own, but it wouldn't be a comfortable majority. So
if the irony of this whole election is that the BJP's national vote share has actually gone up by 3%, 40% at this moment. So the exit poll can say...
Got the BJP numbers right, not the Congress numbers.
They got the vote share right. They got the BJP's vote share right, because the BJP has increased its pan-India presence by 3%. The Congress has increased its pan-India presence by about 7%.
That's why I said seat conversion in India is very, very hard, because it doesn't only depend on winner's vote share, it also depends on the gap between winner and runner-up and how the distribution of other parties had taken place. I think Congress has done surprisingly well in terms of vote share, and one should give it to them.
Okay, so we need to do a hot seat cool hawa. Preeti, why don't you go ahead and give us a hot seat cool hawa. Producer, let's go.
All right, let's begin hot seat, cool hawa, and let's begin with Amethi. Well, on the hot seat with some cool hawa is no one else but Congress's Kishori Lal Sharma. You have Smriti Irani, who's trailing right now on the seat of Amethi. The Congress in the lead where Amethi is concerned. Well, that is the hot seat. And with quite a margin where the seat of Amethi is concerned. Well, the Congress would be very glad. Priyanka Gandhi Rajdeep did campaign heavily there, but neighbouring Rai Bareli It seems Rahul Gandhi right now leading where hot seat cool hawa is concerned. Quite a bit of AC blowing in for Rahul Gandhi, quite a big margin that he's leading from where Rai Bareli is concerned. These two seats, Rajdeep, even when Priyanka Gandhi, when you interviewed her, she said these two seats I'm going to take
she made a prestige, particularly she made Amethi a prestige fight. I just am getting some of our farmaishes meanwhile.
Delhi, let's look at Delhi. Hot seat cool hawa in Delhi. Which seats coming up next? All right, Kanhaiya Kumar, despite of the campaign that he mounted, Kanhaiya Kumar trailing, very comfortable is Manoj Tiwari from the Bharatiya Janata Party on the northeast seat in Delhi. Actually, all 7 seats where Delhi is concerned, right now, BJP leading in all 7. Mandi, let's cut across to Himachal. Kangana Ranaut leading in her seat where hot seat cool hawa is concerned. The cool hawa blowing for Kangana Ranaut. She's going to find herself in the parliament in all probability. Huge lead for Kangana Ranaut.
Okay.
Can I just get some quick farmaishes which are coming from people in government, so you want to say yes to them?
Which government?
The present government. Abhi tak government ek hi hai, government bandi nahi hai.
So,
Prajwal Revanna.
There's something I'm very keen on showing. I'll show you.
Yeah, okay, you can do that first.
Ramanna.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
There's something I want to show you. People are saying, okay, what can change? How much can the hawa change? Let's do the maths. There are 185 seats where the vote share of the NDA is between 40 and 50, 178 where it's more than 50. So if you add that up, it's 363. So the maximum the NDA can go to, because see, if your vote share is less than 40, then the chance of winning is very low. You have to have a vote share to be in, especially if it's a bipolar contest, above 40%. So 363 is the if every shot goes for a boundary, even then the NDA only gets to 363. Similarly, if I do the same for the India Alliance, and if you want to see how things can change potentially from an India Alliance perspective, 220 plus 125. So 345 is the maximum end of the range the India Alliance can go to. It doesn't work like this, but just...
There's a central limit theorem, it will not
no, I'm just saying,
in one
because
direction.
people like, if they want to hit ki 6 chakke lag sakte hain kya? Agar laga. So 345 is the maximum end of the range, because in any seat where you are less than 40%, the chance of converting that is very, very minuscule. So therefore, if you believe that you can do a Yuvraj Singh, that's really the maximum.
But basically what you're saying, Rahul, there are about 61 plus 37. There are about 98 seats in play. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, so I can show that to you. So I would
effectively at this moment, 98 seats in play.
There are 117 seats, ladies and gentlemen,
less than 20.
Where the gap between the party in the lead and the runner-up is less than 10,000, because the Lok Sabha seat, so you can take 10,000 as being a reasonable margin.
And what is the BJP's tally at the moment?
Out of this, the India Alliance is leading in 66, up 40. 12 of those are SP seats, 10 are Trinamool seats, 25 are Congress seats. The NDA is at 48, down 29, BJP at 42, JDU at 3.
But Rahul, I just want to add one caveat.
Yes.
There's a lot of slow counting going on, especially in North India. When you look at some of the numbers there, they're not even halfway.
Even Maharashtra
yeah,
is
but
going
Maharashtra is a relatively, when I'm looking at, there's a direction in Maharashtra.
Right.
So there's very slow counting going on in several states. So we should be still very, very careful.
BJP is leading on 240. So you are at least 33 short of a majority by itself.
As of now.
So the chance of BJP being able to get to a majority on its own
is looking more and more doubtful.
Is tough.
Is looking more and more doubtful. I think it's not impossible.
In the latter stages, they need to do a Rinku Singh. If they can do a Rinku Singh, they may.
Why it's difficult? Because in 3 key states where BJP was hoping to do well according to exit polls, UP, Maharashtra and Bengal, they are directionally going in opposition.
Not Maharashtra, but...
okay, can I show you something very, very, very fascinating? Okay, I just pulled this out of the election intelligence dashboard. This is months and months of hard labor paying dividends in a spectacular fashion, really. On the 156 Dalit seats, the reserved seats, 96 are being led by the India Alliance, up 56 from the last time. The NDA at 54, down 37 from the last time. This is really that whole idea that the Samvidhan is the Sita and everyone's trying to save her. That campaign did play a big role. 35 of these are Congress seats. And if you see the areas where the India Alliance has done well, a lot of this really comes from the fact that not just Muslims, Yadavs, but also Dalits have come into the India tally, which is why they've done as well as they have. That's probably why the BJP panicked mid-course. They realized this was becoming a big issue. They tried to damage control. it doesn't seem to have worked fully.
Also, may I say, we keep saying Samvidhan as the reason. I have another reason
Which
also.
is?
Samvidhan is not the only reason. Please understand, I went to Musahar families in Bihar. I went to Dalit bastis in UP. They are the poorest community even today.
No.
They are the ones who have suffered post-COVID.
But Rajdeep, there is a difference between the Dalit communities and the tribal communities. The moment I look at the tribal data, it's very different. Amongst the tribal, 68 tribal seats, the NDA is leading on 46. So what's happened on the Dalit seats has not happened on the tribal seats. 46 are NDA seats. Down only 5 from the last time. India at 17, Congress at 12 gains. So what's happened in the Dalit seats is very different from what's happened in the tribal seats.
In tribal, identity politics matters more. In Dalit pockets, incomes matter more. Falling incomes. I've heard people saying, 6,000 rupees kamana mushkil hai. I've been saying this for post-COVID, in the last few years, many people have heard. And then you can't go along saying, sab kuch changa hai. Sab kuch acha hai. There, somewhere it strikes to people who have suffered.
Okay.
I think some of the overt display of ostentation by politicians, by this, and I think that struck. You see, you're not giving Rahul Gandhi whatever else. He's been constantly banging on about inequality. That inequality narrative did strike a chord. It's not just constitution. Constitution for that, I don't believe it mattered as much as we are making it out. Across India, what really mattered is my falling income. I am suffering while everyone else mauj kar raha hai. Mauja hai mauja for India's upper caste and the higher income. Somewhere there should be a recognition of inequality, my friend.
Okay, here it is. I showed you what's happening on the Dalit seats. This is the story of the Indian election. Look at what's happening in the general category seats. General category seats are those seats where the upper castes dominate and I have the ability to influence the seat. On the general category seats, we have trends for 137. The NDA is doing very well. 84 leads the India Alliance at 50. The India Alliance has gained 31. The NDA is down 14. But doing very well. You saw how the Dalit seats have turned. That's a big story. If I look at the OBC seats, seats where other backward castes communities have a substantial sway, 312 such seats. The NDA holding on. 187 down only 5. India Alliance 117 up 55. If I come now to the Muslim-dominated seats across the country, you see over here the India Alliance is up 50, is at 50, up 13. NDA is at 42, down 8. What that means, Rajdeep, is if I look at the caste cauldron, in the Dalit seats, in the Dalit-dominated seats, is where the biggest change has happened.
That's
36 down for the NDA. This is the story. This kind of analytics, it will take parties in their war rooms hours, days to be able to do what the India Today Data Intelligence Dashboard is able to do in real time for all of you who are joining in at this moment. NDA at 55, down 36 on the Dalit-dominated seats. This is where this election has changed from what the BJP was expecting.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I think this is fascinating because this is the big change that we are seeing. While we are seeing transformation of Hindi heartland seats, new areas, Dalit seats, I think, are a major change that's taken place at the moment in this election. Yes, Rajat.
That goes back to 90s era of mandal politics coming and rearing its head once again.
In a new form.
Definitely in a much more newer caliber, but it is.
But why I'm hesitant to make any big assumptions on this election? I can go from state to state. Rahul himself pointed out tribal seats.
But
you can go from one state where the Congress does well in tribal areas, another state BJP is sweeping.
No, but Dalit votes, you can see that was reflected in that's
so
pan-India secular decline for BJP, and that needs to be arrested by the BJP.
My belief, more than Mandal, it's about class. This time, those who have hurted at the bottom of the pyramid. One of the beliefs is that the BJP through free ration, and Preeti put it very well, that she went and met people who kept saying, humko ration mila hai. But that's not enough. People want more. There's an aspirational class within the Dalits. Maybe they're not
getting... If your reason to vote for a party is ration, that means there is something wrong.